Hi guys, in this tutorial I'm going to begin to do the water splash, and I'm just getting the best curve of this splash that I can here. It's not 100% correct, but I'm just doing the best that I can do to kind of simulate what I'm looking at on the picture. And I'm starting with just putting in some highlights there with white. This is an opaque white. It's not the transparent white. And I'm just beginning to kind of look at the photo and then make the splash as best I can. And this is just a process of building up your whites and your grays, and then erasing out. And remember, you're not erasing your highlights, you're erasing your dark shadows. So working on black, it's a little bit backwards. Process is still the same. It's just a little bit more to build up your color. I'm not completely done with the strawberry yet. I will go back in the last part to um, kind of hit the end of the tip of the strawberry there where it's hitting the water, and giving it more of a glow look of the light coming through or hitting it. My camera moved a little bit, as I can see here, so you're not going to get some of the um, the bottom part, but you will get most of it. It's really kind of an easy process to do this type of a water splash because it is on a background. You're just going to mostly be dealing with white, black, and some hues of gray in there where you lightly spray your white. Down at the bottom where the strawberry actually hits in the water, there is like a hint of like a very, very faint bluish gray that I'll be adding in a tip of color there at the end of the video. Not the end of this video, but the next one. I'm just going to basically touch on that to finish up the painting. And then our next painting will be a flaming 8 ball, like a, 8 ball with flames. Yay. Anyway, and maybe some pinstriping. I don't know. I've been practicing my pinstriping, so might do that a little bit. Anyway, I love my little round stencil here. It's really tiny, and you can get in there and get some great little water splashes with it. You can make your own too with Marlar and some. You want to get you don't want to get the 10 pounds Marlar. You want to get a lighter, thinner sheet, maybe a 5 or 7, and just cut it out. If you have a plotter, you can make round little circles on your plotter and it'll cut it out, or cut it out by hand. You can meld it with a heat, kind of like a heat thing too, but I found it's just easier to cut it out with my plotter. You have to have of course a backing underneath it when you do that, and a really new blade. But I love the little round one. You can get this on Amazon too. You can find them anywhere. If you don't have the money to do that, if you have a laminate machine, also you can laminate a couple sheets together and then cut it out easily that way. There's all kinds of ways and tricks you can get around things, but here I'm using my eraser to come in and erase out those dark highlights, shadows, and tints in there. And there's a lot of blurriness to water too, so it kind of works in well. When you're erasing, you're going to see like a little film on the black. You can clean that up later. But the trick to water splashes, I think, and stars and anything is not to have it uniform, to have it just going every which way. Sometimes we tend to get a little bit too uniformed and then it just looks fakey. But, and some of my little water droplets there are not going to be consistent with the photo. I'm just going to do the best to make it look real, but not exactly like the photo. Since I didn't draw this out on black first, I stenciled it first, which was a boo-boo. But hey, like, you get my mix-ups too. You get my mistakes. I don't do it beforehand. I tend to want to show my mistakes, and my mistake was I laid stencil on this and drew it out on the stencil and then cut it out, which I should have drew it on the black first with a white chroma pencil, and then laid it Frisket clear on it. Instead, I laid the blue stencil film, which was another boo-boo, and yeah, then kind of ended up having to do it all by hand. Da-da-da-da. But hey, us artists improvise, don't we? So I'm coming around here and just erasing out to the picture or what I'm seeing, and my photo did not print as vivid as the actual photo that I have on there, but we're working the best we can with it. Now, yeah, it probably won't show you on this, but there are ways to make your picture look to where it's not so cut out. If you look at the edge of that strawberry, it looks very cut out. It doesn't look real at all. And there's little tricks that you can do to get around that by just lightly moving your stencil just a hair away from the edge of that, and then spraying on some white, or some, not white, not all white of course, but maybe a pinkish light tint on there to make that really kind of look rounded. So it gives it more of a realistic look, and it doesn't look so cut out and sharp. Sometimes you want that, but sometimes you don't. Sorry for the glare. You kind of get that when you get on black surfaces where you've sanded it, and my light behind me is not doing it very good, but I'm starting to lay in the curve of the splash that goes around. There's some little ripples in the water there, so I'm very lightly spraying that white, and I've got my pressure down to maybe 15, and then I've got my mag valve on the bottom there even tightened up a little bit, so I'm barely getting some pressure through there. It's barely spraying out that white. And thank you for watching. Come back, and this is we're working on next. Thank you.